Seth Besmertnik.
Wow. Thank you so much. It is such an amazing honor to be here right now. I'm overwhelmed with gratefulness in the most deepest way I think I've ever experienced. I wanted to get the whole Conductor crew here on the stage. We weren't allowed to do that. So doing the next best thing, which is sharing a video when we announced to the company that we were going to be part of this amazing family here at WeWork, which I want to share with everyone. When you hear an announcement that we bought another company, it's amazing. It's changing lives. It has such an impact. Being here on this stage right now is absolutely nothing short of a complete miracle. It is absolutely a miracle. I got a call on Sunday night from Jen and Carly, and they said, "Hey Seth, we'd like for you to give a talk on Thursday." And I was excited, and the first thing that came to mind was this flashback of a moment from 2 years ago, which is right here. And this actually is at Summit with one of our longtime colleagues, Stefan Bajayo, and we're in front of the Krusty Burger stand. And if you look at this picture, you would think that I look really happy. But the real truth is that, I remember this so vividly, that this was one of the darkest moments of my entire life, not being there that night, but this time period. And I thought for this talk I'd do a little bit of a story of how we got to that point, how I got to that point, how we got to the point from there to this amazing stage today with you guys, and then where we're going from here. And I'll start with just a brief history of my life. So chaos and dysfunction were served up daily in my home. That's me in the middle, if you didn't realize. I was a terrible student. All my teachers said I wouldn't amount to anything. I didn't have a lot of hope. I went to the only college that would accept me. When I went to college, I worked full-time during the day. I was a lousy employee. I didn't feel like I fit in. I kind of hated it. And I knew I had to do something different. I knew I had to find something that I can do, that I can fit in, I can feel comfortable. I had no experience. I definitely had no knowledge and no wisdom, but I had this incredible desire to be free and to build something build a place to go every day that I loved and where I wanted to be. So I became an entrepreneur. And I took out $10,000 from Citibank for actually in a student loan, and we started my first business, which was an online therapy company, which is a great idea, but 15 years ago wasn't the best idea. And that business didn't go anywhere. So we went to business number 2, which was a digital marketing company. Now this one we had some traction. In 4 years, we built this business from 0 to $20 million in revenue. And we had some success, but something changed in digital marketing, and literally overnight, this company went from growing and growing to a precipitous decline, and we sold the company for pretty much nothing. But what we got was a group of people that were amazing. And this group of people went on to be the 30 co-founders that went to start Conductor. And we had a new mission, and we reset the goals, and we started from 0, but we had an idea of how we could help businesses. And this became Conductor. And Conductor started out with some good success, but pretty much after that, it felt like it was the hardest thing possible. It felt like just like a constant challenge, problem after problem after problem after problem. The product wasn't working, customers were canceling, employee morale issues, issue after issue, constantly sitting around, no money to potentially fund a payroll in 2 weeks, and it felt like a constant beating. That's me pushing the rock up the hill with the team. But we did do a few things right. We made people our absolute priority, and we built a culture and a community where people wanted to come to work every day. and we always did the right things when it came to employees. And we had this incredible, like, never give up attitude. Like, no matter what happened, no matter what you threw at us, like, we get knocked down, but we, like, put our clothes back on, we came back to work the next day. And I think, it's the first moment where putting this presentation, I sort of got a lot of reflections, and one of them was, the universe was definitely acting out for me. I got found by an incredible woman, and while I was not, I definitely, wasn't always there for her, but she was always there for me and believed in me. And was a big part of this. But unfortunately, marrying well doesn't mean that your business is going to be successful. So if you're a high-tech growth company and you've raised lots of money, the number one way to judge your success from the outside world is your growth. How much are you growing year over year? And if you look at this green line, you can see quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter, we were going down and down and down, almost to zero. We couldn't get any more money. We were at almost pretty much of a halt. It was like we were frozen in time. And that brings me back to that picture. Now, what's interesting is on paper, I sort of had it all, if you think about it. I had a company, we had 200 employees, I had a beautiful family, I had just bought an apartment, I had all the physical things that I thought I wanted when I started the company. But I was left with this incredible emptiness that is sort of, it's remarkable how empty I felt. I was sort of unconscious. So we used to give everybody at Conductor, I used to give everybody this book called Fierce Conversations, which is how to have hard conversations with people in your life. Meanwhile, for my life, all of the most important people, my loved ones, my wife, I wasn't having those hard conversations. When I had problems in my life, I used to run the opposite way from them. I'd plug them with short-term holes and short-term fixes. I thought I had a formula for success, but that formula was obviously not working for me at all. And I had no tools to grow. I had no process or practice to help me improve. And I just stopped growing. I just stopped growing. I was the same person. Now, Rebecca said this thing on Tuesday, that when you stop growing, the universe will intervene. Somehow will intervene and inject themselves. And sometimes that comes in chaos and in darkness. Sometimes it comes with an olive branch. And for me, this happened in a pretty incredible way. So this is our building in 2 Park Avenue in Manhattan. I never leave work in the afternoon. And I happened to this day, and as I was walking back in the building, I saw a guy that I went to college with. I haven't seen him in 10 years. And he was an entrepreneur, and I knew he had a successful company, and I immediately thought, like, oh, wow, this would be great. It'd be a great customer. I asked him to come upstairs. He came upstairs, actually. He's like, all right, he's like, I'll come upstairs with you. Walked around the office. Before you know it, I was having a few meetings out of the office. Our team was preparing presentations to get them to be a customer. But this was very different. Instead of wanting to talk about business and revenue and sales and all the things I was expecting to talk about, this guy wanted to talk about life. He wanted to talk about my soul. He wanted to talk about my marriage. He wanted to talk about relationships. He wanted to talk about how I was growing. And he asked me these really hard personal questions, and I just gave him all very, very honest answers. And in a way, this person became my teacher and introduced me to many other teachers and books and knowledge and information, and the process of growth started to change, and I sort of opened my mind up to new ideas, and I started to grow. And I realized that I had been chasing all of the wrong goals. My formula was there. I used to think it was about success and physical things and getting stuff and growing and more superficial things that I thought were important. And I learned that life was about the purpose of life, and the purpose of feeling good is learning and growth and helping people. And I learned that that having a purpose is essential. And that ultimately, your world is nothing more than just a reflection of you. And if you want to actually make change to your world, any aspect of your world, the one right in front of you, the one to the side, it starts with yourself and changing yourself and growing. And if you haven't figured it out, that guy was Adam. Woo! And WeWork went on to be shortly after that, WeWork went on to be one of our biggest customers and eventually our biggest customer. And big up to the marketing and product team. We love working with you guys. It's amazing. So I took all this knowledge and I started thinking about it, and I started looking at Conductor in an entirely different way. And as I was putting this presentation together, I realized something amazing, that the people at Conductor were also like feasting for this. And we all got together and we all changed, and we took this idea of helping people and growing, and we applied it in a whole different way. So if you think about our business, and I know most people here have no idea what we do, I hope we make a slight improvement on that by the end of this presentation. What we do is we would help companies understand when people go to a search engine around the world, Baidu, Google, whatever it is, we would help them figure out, are you showing up and how do you get your content found? That's what we would do. But what we realize is when someone searches in a search engine, it's much more than that. It's someone's needs, it's someone's information, it's what they're looking for, it's what they want. And when a business gets found, it's actually them creating something interesting, creating something of value, creating something substantive. You can't just show up unless you have the best piece of information. And we found out that people were searching for all kinds of things, not just products and services and things that they need. And we did all of this research. We found these amazing stories. So here's a story I'm going to share. This woman was doing research to find her birth mother. And she actually ended up finding her, but she found out that she had a genetic disorder that ran in her family. And it had something to do with her heart valve, and if she had it too, it could mean that she can die. And she ended up finding out that she had the same thing, and she had an emergency surgery, and it saved her life. And she wrote a story about how this started from doing a search and finding content on the internet. And we found another story of another woman who just moved out of the city into the suburbs and was looking for her first minivan and did a search for what's the safest minivan. And then ended up, after buying the car, getting front-ended by a drunk driver with her kids in the car, and everyone was 100% okay. And she wrote something about how grateful she was for the company that created this content. And it's not just a few stories. There's 10 billion searches every single day happening where people are looking for all kinds of things, sharing their most intimate needs, desires, details, what they're thinking. And it's a bigger thing. It's not about technology. This is the human species is literally reaching out. We are asking for help. We're asking for help. And it makes sense. Life is hard. We make thousands of decisions a day where we're sort of constant struggle in many ways, and we need help, right? We need help. And the great thing is that you no longer have to wait online, to talk to the village chief to get help. You can ask Alexa, or you can go on your phone, or you can go on your computer, and you can ask Google or a search engine. And it's interesting, when you ask a search engine, it's actually not the search engine that gives you the answers. It's businesses. It's nonprofits. It's organizations. It's the creators are the ones coming up with this content and giving the answers. And we realize that if we can take this information, to take this insight, if we can help companies figure out how to really understand what people want and bring that into their marketing and inject it into that they can turn marketing into a force for actually creating change and helping other companies. And we made this our mission statement, turn marketing into a force for change. We came up with the idea of humanized marketing. We integrated it into every part of the business, from our strategy and our product roadmap to the t-shirts that we wore every single day of the week. We made this deep. And even if it meant it wasn't good for our revenue, and even if it meant it wasn't clearly like the best business thing, we did it because it was the right thing. And we realized we had to take this value and shift it and bring it to our customers. Conductor couldn't just be about Conductor. It had to be about our customers. We had to be bigger than ourselves. So we adopted this incredible customer-first mindset, which I changed for Summit to members first. But we shifted all of our goals. When our CFO gets up and talks about the performance of the company, he doesn't start with the revenue. He starts with our customers. Are they getting success? Are they getting value? Are they using the product? And it really changed everything. And we took this idea of change. Adam said this, and I hear him say it all the time. It's like, what's the hardest thing to do in life? What's the greatest superpower? What's the greatest superpower? Change. I was sitting right there when he asked everyone, and for some reason I couldn't come up with the answer on Tuesday, but it's change. And I always say to the people at Conductor, I'd rather have 300 people that are growing every day than 600 who aren't. And we adopted this and put this into, this is our dashboard that we show the company every month and how we're doing. And we adopted this because change is really hard. It's hard to grow. But if you have a community and you have people with you, it becomes a little bit easier. And we created an opportunity for people to share the things they want to work on if they wanted to and they felt comfortable, and actually get support from each other. And it's powerful. And this stuff started to work. We weren't focused on the revenue. We weren't focused on hitting the gong and closing deals. We were focused on helping and changing and growing and doing the right thing. And after doing this, we've seen incredible success. We've had 13 consecutive quarters of accelerated revenue growth. So many people told us it was impossible that we would be able to change the trajectory of the company. And it's amazing that when you change yourself, when we as the Conductor team, we work together, we achieve something unbelievable. We added almost 100 people this year, and we got to join the WeWork family, which is amazing. For the first time ever, we had all of our employees from all our offices in one place. And this is a picture from us at summer camp. And on the personal front, just because we started off with a personal story, I'm very proud. I've been working on myself quite a bit. And I can say that my family and my marriage is the best it's ever been. And my wife and my kids are watching in the Chelsea HQ. I love you guys. Zazie, Zuela, Hallie, you guys are my everything. My everything. So, sounds like a lot of stuff, right? We've done a lot. I have a little less hair than when I started the process. But it's actually what we've been doing up until this point. It's almost like it's been training camp for us, the Conductor team. We've been just getting ready. Everything that happened, I wouldn't change one bit of the story. I wouldn't change one bit of the struggle, one bit of the challenges. I would do it over, because every bit of that made the Conductor team, made myself so strong and so capable to do anything. And when being a part of WeWork, WeWork, the We company, I gotta get the We company in my head. Love it. We are building a platform where entrepreneurs and missions can come in and do amazing things. And there was no company in the world that we would have considered selling the company to. There was no company. But when you see a mission this big, and when you see an opportunity to truly change the world and to bring peace to it one person at a time and contribute our mission to it, we had to be a part of it. We had to embrace that. And for the Conductor team, we have an incredible amount of work cut out for us. So there is $1.2 trillion spent in marketing in 2019. $1.2 trillion, which is a huge amount of money. And we did some back-of-the-envelope math, and there's some researchers who have done this. Human beings, so if you're not living in a jungle somewhere, you are experiencing and exposed to marketing every single day. From when you wake up, you're exposed to marketing. 84, I learned a new word, quadrillion. 84 quadrillion hours human beings will be exposed to marketing in 2019. That is a lot. And unfortunately, a lot of marketing today is about stoking people's insecurities. It's about being intrusive. Hey, your hair is not growing. You should try this product. Or, hey, you don't look this way. You should do that. Or someone's going to attack you and go to your home and take your credit report. Or you need to do this. You need to do that. If you get this product, you're going to be better than your neighbor. And I just say, fuck that, right? Sorry, I was trying to avoid not cursing. Cursing's not good. I realize my kids are watching. Imagine a world where marketing was used to elevate people's consciousness. Imagine a world where marketing was used to help people. Every founder of every company in this world started their company because they knew there was a problem, and they wanted to solve it. They wanted to do something good. They had a better way, and they have this deep institutional knowledge, like we have here at WeWork in so many places. Imagine if we used marketing as a vehicle to share that knowledge, to empower people, to make their lives better, to help them. It's to motivate them, to inspire them. And this is our mission, right? There's $1.2 trillion, it's a lot. We have a long way to go. We have a lot of work to do. And now that we're a part of WeWork, this mission has a lot of potential and will become a reality. So on behalf of everybody at Conductor, I want to just say thank you so much for having the Conductor team and your family. All the conductors, stand up, conductors. Stand up, conductors. Woo! I never used the word I so many times in one presentation. You guys are everything. And by the way, we have a tradition. Whenever we have our all-hands meetings, we bring out a T-shirt gun. It was sort of a childhood fantasy of mine. So if you want a T-shirt, make some noise. All right, got to pump the air first. Woo!